My middle school, I don't know if this happens in other middle schools though, but every 8th grade class, 2 days before graduation, we got to go on a whole 8th grade school field trip for a few days out of state. All throughout middle school, I had no friends in middle school, and I was gay, which definitely did not make me popular in this school, as it was pretty conservative. I didn't want to go to this field trip though, but as I had to bunk with some classmates in a hotel room, I said I wasn't going, and I was very, very set on not going at all. I knew I didn't have any social standings to go, and me liking guys sexually sure didn't help, but my teachers and my family kept egging me on, telling me that if I didn't go, I'd regret it. So, to be honest, I was much more interested in talking to my online boyfriend at the time and talking to some of my friends online, but eventually I caved and agreed to go. He grew me with some of the other popular boys. The first day was mainly uneventful. I mostly wandered around the back of the group alone. Brought a fruit smoothie from the shopping center we stopped in and just started drinking it and just kept to myself really. But night came and it was revealed I'd be joining their hotel room. While I knew the other boys I was bunking with, but they didn't know I was bunking with them, remains a mystery to me. I didn't know, and to be honest, who cares? Well, they didn't take too kindly to that, and spent the night in the hotel room tormenting me. Basically, I was their punching bag. One night, one of them pissed in a bottle, tossed it at me, and exploded at impact while it hit my chest. I didn't sleep at all that night. I just sat in a chair and thought about how unwanted I was, and I didn't fit at all, and I started to feel sick. Next day, it all just came crashing down. The boys got caught bragging about the event while they were at a breakfast table. I just wanted to keep my head down, but eventually the truth came out. The whole class basically found out. The boys got in trouble, and the one that pissed in the bottle and threw it at me had his parents called, and they had to drive across straight lines just to pick him up. The boys remaining also destroyed the hotel room while throwing stuff at me, and they also found a metal bar and they broke the AC unit in the hotel room too, which made for a unbearably hot night. Keep in mind, this was the beginning of June and we were in the south, so it definitely got hot. My classmates were not happy with me since I was seen as the cause of their friends getting in trouble. The nurse was nice enough to give me her private hotel room, but sadly I wasn't allowed to hide in it. And unfortunately, just as I thought it was going to start to get a little better, as I had a private hotel room to myself, fruit smoothie had me shitting and vomiting like crazy at this point. We visited the Amish, where the school admins demanded I eat, despite them telling them I didn't feel well. The usual, oh, you're just probably just hungry, you should just eat. So I reluctantly ate the Amish food and then promptly hurled it across the hallway on the way out in front of my entire class. I spent the rest of the trip trying to stay isolated. One nice boy tried to keep me company, and when I got home I found out my internet boyfriend was a cyber predator who revealed himself and promptly dumped me. The school pressed for punishment for the now infamous Florida incident, and made some classmates write apology letters to me. To be honest, I didn't really care whatever they wrote. I just wanted to move on. And I guess I got lucky. My parents didn't press charges in that incident. I ended up skipping out on the other two end of middle school field trips, our school ended up getting blacklisted by the hotel, and what I hear, they stopped doing big out-of-state 8th grade field trips after our class, in part because of my experience, but also because of several others of my classmates apparently made it a general habit to destroy their hotel room, and a bunch of other smaller incidents related to that. And the school had to pay a bunch of damages and so on. It was a shit show. I was just the big gossip story, I guess you could say. Some silver lining, I have a relatable story for all those suffering from bullying and generally being an outcast. While I won't share the story though, here's what I will say though. If you are bullied in high school or middle school, just try to stay away from them. And once middle school is over, no one remembers shit and hated their high school experience, even the bullies. Same thing with high school. While no one really hates their high school experience though, once high school is over and people have become more mature, they realize how much like assholes they acted like. So, if I can give one piece of advice, if you are currently getting bullied in school, no matter what grade you're in, stay away from the kids that are bullying you and surround yourself with good people. I guess they were just young teens. Hi, my name is Ms. Thompson, and I'm a 10th grade social studies teacher. I had planned an exhilarating field trip for my high school students to Crestwood Park, a renowned amusement park filled with thrilling rides and attractions. Little did I know that their much anticipated day of fun would turn to a heart-pounding nightmare. Before I continue on to the story though, I want to explain why a social studies teacher would take their kids to an amusement park. I made a bet, a stupid bet at that, with my students. If they could all get a B plus or A's on a big social studies paper, I would bring them to an amusement park and skip a day of busy work. I talked about it with my principal before. I've done this about 8 years ago in the past, and I've done it every single year since then, but never could do it though because not all of them got an A. But this time, it was different. All of my students got a 94 or above. I was very, very impressed and very proud of my students. They definitely deserved it. On a sunny spring morning, the students eagerly boarded the school bus. Their excitement definitely overflowed any negative effects, especially the negative effect that I almost got rear-ended today, but the students' excitement made me forget about it. As we arrived at Crestwood Park, the air buzzed with laughter and the exhilarating sound of roller coasters roaring in the distance. I led my class through the vibrant entrance gate, ready for a day of adventure. Before the students dispersed, I had the park manager come over and tell the rules of the road, as the students, while they would probably listen to me, they would forget about it and know if the manager didn't know, there would be no real consequences. The students got into groups of 3, and the students dispersed, exploring the park's various attractions. They raced each other on roller coasters, spun in dizzy teacups, and laughed through the twists and turns of bumper cars. I knew they deserved it, and they were definitely taking advantage of it. And I felt happy that I was able to do something super nice to them, and that it was just a fun day. Everything seemed perfect, but that's until the sun began to set. casting an eerie glow over the park. As darkness descended, the once cheerful atmosphere transformed. Lights flickered ominously, and the rides groaned with an eerie resonance. I thought it was kind of weird why the lights flickered, but the manager said, "We're just having some electrical problems as we're switching electrical companies just 2 weeks ago, and some of our power lines got damaged by a storm that came through last week." I brushed it off, but about half hour later, the students and I felt a sudden chill in the air as if they stepped into a different realm. One by one, the rides malfunctioned, sending shrieks of terror through the park. The roller coasters stopped at the top and just fell back. While they didn't derail, I bet it felt like it derailing to some of the students, though. One by one, the students came off the rides, refusing to go on any other ride, and rightfully so. What the hell was going on? The Ferris wheel spun out of control, driving terrified riders at dizzying heights. The teacups went faster and faster, causing nausea. I desperately tried to gather my students, but some of them were scattered, and some of them were stuck on the rides. Panic confusion spread like wildfire. The park staff, usually friendly and helpful, were nowhere to be found. I thought, what the fuck happened? Eventually, the rides started to work a little bit, and all the students were able to come down from the rides and all rushed to find our meetup spot. We didn't know what the fuck happened, and we, to be honest, didn't really feel like figuring it out. But this wasn't the end. As we navigated through to get out of the park, we encountered eerie figures lurking in the shadows. Strange clowns with menacing grins appeared, their laughter echoing through the empty pathways. Doll-like animatronics came to life, their mechanical movements hauntingly humane. It seemed as though the very soul of the amusement park had been possessed by a malevolent force. The students found themselves in a nightmare maze, and I was the dead-end leader. And then I realized what was going on, as one of the students said, "Oh, I forgot to mention this to you." By the way, Crestwood Park was one of their ideas, and this student was extremely rich. Turns out, his dad was best friends with the owner, and his dad paid $15,000 for the cast members, as they were called, but they were really just employees, dressing up like clowns and getting animatronics to roam the hallway. And as soon as we got out, all the lights turned on and said, "You've just been pranked by Jonathan Manns." Mr. Manns was the boy's father. And I realized that this was all just a big joke. I should have known, as one student was completely unfazed, and it was just snickering to himself as we were trying to figure it out. We returned to the bus, and I had a talk with the student. The student was very apologetic, and the father gave me $10,000 to avoid going to court and for the nightmare it experienced. This was the last time I ever went or ever offered the students a field trip. and will definitely be the last time I ever step foot into an amusement park, no matter what it is.